Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. In this video we will be talking about the RQ-11 Raven, the low-altitude ISR for militaries around the world. Made of commercial off-the-shelf components. Please remember to like and subscribe. Alright, Fact 1. Hand-launched. The RQ-11 Raven is a very interesting drone in that it is hand-launched by the soldier. It does not use any platform or any rockets, and so the way to launch it is simply to start the propeller spinning and then have the soldier aim toward the sky and throw it. The force from a throw is enough to give the drone enough lift to start sustaining flight once in flight. It can then be radio controlled by a handheld device, and with a camera you can see what the drone is seeing. It's pretty straightforward drone, if you will, almost like a RC airplane if you think about it, because a lot of the drones out there in the military world are all very large drones capable of flying on its own power for takeoff. Because the engine is not that powerful, requires the soldier to throw it into the sky first. However, it is pretty incredible that something like this could be packed into a backpack and deployed in any place without any infrastructure. With a simple launching process like this, it is perfect for remote environments without any infrastructure, and also can be hidden during traveling and quickly unpacked and deployed. Less complexity is always better suited in tough situations. Alright, Fact 2. Over 19,000 made. The RQ-11 Raven is an extremely popular drone, although it started from the United States military. Even within the United States military, all branches of the armed forces use this drone, and it has evolved capable beyond just the US military into many militaries around the world. At the time of this video, there are so many nations that use this drone that it's almost like a world common UAV, if you will, because this drone is likely made of commercial off-the-shelf products without any sort of proprietary products or technology. The United States military is happy to export this worldwide at the time of this video. So many nations: Australia, Belgium, Bulgaria, Canada, Czech, Estonia, Italy, Kenya, Netherlands, Norway, Philippines, Portugal, the list goes on and on. There are so many nations that currently using this drone. This drone has been mass-produced, and if you think about it, all the parts are probably very easy to procure and manufacture. It is definitely one of the most popular smaller handheld drones in the world. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 3. 60 to 90-minute endurance. This particular drone, because of its size and portability, doesn't offer too much endurance compared to something like the Reaper or Predator, or other large type UAV where they can land and take off on its own. This particular drone is meant to be stuffed into a backpack, carried to a remote location, assembled and thrown into the air. As a result, this drone doesn't have too much endurance. It could only fly up to 90 minutes. I can imagine if the climate or the condition is adverse in terms of too much headwind or some other issues, it probably reduced the range down to only 60 minutes. With the short endurance of this drone, you have to think about how to use it in a different manner. You no longer use it as sort of like a global surveillance kind of UAV, but rather in the field for immediate ISR purposes. This is typically designed so that the soldiers who travel into a remote location unpack the drone, assemble it, and it fly in the air to scout out around their location. If there's enemy or hostile environments, this is definitely not like the Global Hawk or Predator or Reaper and so forth, where you can do reconnaissance from thousands of miles away. I wonder if the drone has a bigger battery if it can fly for longer periods. There are also ideas to use solar power to power the drone while in flight. This drone is definitely light enough to undertake such a design change. Alright, Fact 4. Low altitude ISR. As I mentioned in the previous sections, this drone was intended for low altitude, low endurance ISR. What this means is this drone is definitely not to be used for surveillance and intelligence gathering in far-flung places. This drone is definitely being used in forward operating areas where the soldier in the squad or division need to scout out the surroundings, their immediate surroundings. They don't care about the enemy positions that's thousands of miles away to make strategic movements. This particular drone is intended to make sure you are aware of all the enemy locations of movements within the very short range, something that could impact you right away if you don't move fast enough or set up defensive positions fast enough, and for offensive purposes. This drone can help you scout out ahead and understand if the enemy is in the area that was identified by satellite or other surveillance UAV, and then to make sure they are still there so you can mount an attack. This is definitely something as close to the field and battle as possible, and because all of these parts are very disposable and replaceable. It is likely that it will be sent into hostile territory, and then if it gets shot down, it's not a big deal because the US military or other militaries around the world have spare parts to repair or just assemble a new one. Think of these drones as disposable and replaceable, like a bomb-diffusing robot where in the event it is totally damaged, at least you minimize the loss of human life and impact to health. Alright, let's get to the next and final fact. Fact 5. $260,000 per system. Now, despite how it looks and despite the fact that it really is made of all commercial off-the-shelf products with no specific proprietary technologies, the drone system is still very expensive. This drone system consists of the drone itself, all the replacement parts, and an operating module and laptop to store the data that it collects. I am not entirely sure why all that adds up to $260,000. Perhaps there are some military-grade components that we don't know about that jacks up the cost. Otherwise, it's really just selling to the governments knowing that they could pay such a high price. Because if you think about it, a similar drone in the civilian market will probably cost less than $1,000. All the parts, all the engines and cameras are all very standard, nothing proprietary or innovative. However, because governments use it, perhaps the company that's manufacturing these knows that they are willing to pay for it. Alright, that is it for the video today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.